Space Jam: A New Legacy.
I know that you're the movie experience, so I'll let you kick it off.
Well, yes, thank you. Welcome to the spoiler version of the movie experience, the Spoilercast. Me and Swag there, we just seen Space Jam: A New Legacy, fresh in our heads. I'm going to tell you, this is a spoiler review. You guys will see my non-spoiler review. I'll have but this is going to be a spoiler review. So I'm going to talk about all spoilers, and I'm going to start off by saying I don't think the people that have been reviewing this movie are fair.
I'm going to check out reviews after.
Yes,
I'm going to look up reviews tonight.
Yeah, I want you to. But also, I'm going to just show you this for just content purposes, right? I'm going to type in Space Jam. Let's just put Space Jam 2 review. You know what it is.
Gotcha.
And you can just tell by the thumbnails.
People they look upset.
Yeah, how everybody looks. You even got Skip Bayless on here.
Skip Bayless.
It's talking about.
Don't hate us. Stop. Yeah. Just stop.
Look, Grace Radar. Everybody looks very pissed off.
Right.
About Space Jam 2 review. Right.
Right.
Me personally, I have watched about all these reviews so far.
Okay. And
in my personal opinion, what they're angry about, to me, is a bias of nostalgia. And there are things that are warranted to be angry about.
Right.
But there are some things I'm just sitting there like, okay, y'all, because stop putting the first Space Jam like it's the king of all kings. It's not. Okay.
Look back at it. It is not that good of a movie.
It really isn't. But real quick, since they heard my review already, what is your take on?
I enjoyed this much more than I thought I would. In all honesty. I thought the beginning of like LeBron James and his family, I felt like that was his own self-contained movie.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted more of those moments. When he got into the Looney Tune world, I thought he was a better actor because we couldn't see his facial expressions.
Exactly.
Because LeBron James can't act. He ain't no Michael Jordan bad acting, but LeBron James can't act. Looney Tune, I rewinded it. Okay.
I'll take care of it.
Also, what I really liked about this movie was the creativity. This was way more creative than the first movie. And I like how they changed the game of basketball. It didn't make it just a regular basketball game. They made it into his son's video game. I thought I was like, okay, this makes it a lot more fun for me. Overall, personally, I give it a damn near perfect.
I'm not going to give it a damn near perfect because I'm a basketball fan.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
But as a movie as a whole, I was like, this was really fun to watch. Even the annoying rap scene.
Yeah.
I was just still like, you know what?
Sorry.
Lola
and Bugs was killing that.
Killing
that Roger Rabbit,
it took me away, and then that's when it got me back in. So I was like, okay, this is fun. I caught myself laughing a good amount of times
because maybe I'm weird, but I was like, I'm just picturing Zendaya and Tom Holland doing that. I'm just picturing them doing that, and Tom Holland just like, I got a black girlfriend. I see him doing it.
Tom Holland did ballet.
Yes, I heard about it. Yeah,
he did ballet, so I could see that. I could definitely see that. But yeah, the movie was great. Don Cheadle was great. Don Cheadle was so he had so much fun.
I heard my wife like coming at him for a little. I was like, just wait, because I saw just wait.
I was like, Dad, you like everything. I was like, hold on now.
Don Cheadle did have me laughing.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
So here's the thing. I won't go over in the spoilers some things I liked about the movie.
Okay.
Then we'll go over something that I didn't like about the movie, and then comparison to the first one. We'll do it.
I'm definitely interested in what you didn't like because you probably see something that I didn't.
Yeah,
and you saw it more than once. So.
Yes. So the things I did like about it, because one, LeBron James is not a good actor, but he's better than Michael Jordan.
Way better.
And the difference is, it's not even about like, it's not like, well, if I compare LeBron's acting to Michael Jordan's as a Shakespearean, it's not that. It's just that LeBron looked like he cared about what he was doing in the movie. And I think LeBron is self-aware to know. And, of course, people that worked on this movie also is self-aware to know to be like, look, we see what happened with the first Space Jam. When Mike was in there with them tunes, that was sometimes cringy to watch. Okay? When Mike was in there with them tunes, because he's sitting there trying to act with these people in green suits that can't talk.
Right.
And that's kind of hard to do. Especially when you're not an actor.
Right.
So I thought it was a smart idea to turn LeBron into a Looney Tune.
Yeah, I did too.
And that way, because even with his acting is not just all about how you talk, but it's facial expressions, your body language, and all that stuff like that. It was easier to hide that as a tune.
That's why I like them as a tune acting better.
Yeah,
than live action.
Yeah, like it was more believable. I like the family aspect of it because I was like, once again, in the original Space Jam, I ain't get that with Joy family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You had his dog Charles, and then you had his family that I was like, he gave two shits about. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not his real family. Somebody's acting as his family. I get it.
Right.
And so, but said at the bar, like there were some points I was like, okay, maybe this could be his real people. Right. You know what I'm saying? But with these all actors, I felt that about the movie. I did enjoy how it wasn't that it was Looney Tune world, and then it was like, okay, we gotta get the Looney Tunes. It was like they are done because in 2021, the Looney Tunes are played out.
Right.
Okay.
And I liked how they brought that in. It's like Bugs is all alone.
Yes, by himself in this Toon world. One thing I did, it's probably going my dislikes, but right now I like how they had to go around everybody. Everybody was trying to do their own different things within the Warner Brothers property, and I'm sitting there because. Right now, even a couple years ago when I heard about Space Jam 2, I was like, the Looney Tunes are still a thing?
Right, exactly.
Because I saw the screenshots of him playing with, like, Hagrid from Harry Potter. And I thought he was going to use the Warner Brothers stuff because the Looney Tunes are played out. And I was just like, well, maybe it's a deleted scene. I'm not necessarily sure. Or it's a whole part. They probably redid the movie by saying, but I was like, you know what? This is an interesting way to bring back the Looney Tunes because they are just played out, okay? And nobody really cares about the Looney Tunes. But since HBO Max has come up on there and brought all the old cartoons back, I was like, okay, it kind of fits in there with what I like. I did, it was decent to try, the son creating the game, and they got to play his game,
right?
And I thought it was kind of cool. It is broken. Like,
that game is broke.
I don't mind NBA Street. Okay, I love NBA Street, but this genre was just like, hold on. I get like 37 points for style points. Now, that's a 12-year-old's thing right there.
Now, I will say this: Warner Brothers has a missed opportunity for making an actual game for this with those game rules.
Yes,
I feel like because that would have helped us understand the game a little bit better, and probably appreciate what they were doing in that game.
Well, they do have a Space Jam game out, but it's a mobile game.
Yeah,
but
I mean, like the way they were playing.
I agree with you. I mean, maybe something could still be in the works.
Hopefully,
of saying that this could be like the Space Jam, a new legacy game,
right?
Whatever the case may be. But my personal opinion, I think it would be something that you need to do. While the movie is out to help help sell it.
Because a year later, like the Avatar game coming out.
Yeah.
No one cares about Avatar. We stopped caring about Avatar the year after it came out. So, I don't know why I did. I do want to add something onto the like list. Bugs Bunny's arc. I thought that was really good. I know I predicted what was going to happen at the end.
Yeah.
But I only predicted that because I felt like that would be the only right thing for him to do with his arc and why he's trying to get everyone together. So I appreciate that.
I agree, and like I said, I did like Algae Rhythm.
Yeah,
I did like Don Cheadle. See, my thing is, I was sitting there looking at it, like I was like, okay, because I have different friends that say turn your brain off, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to do that when I'm in a world that I already know what it's supposed to be about.
Right.
But I'm sitting here, it's like, okay, I have to be 8-year-old Mr. A&E again, okay, because a lot of people that watch the first Space Jam movie and they watch the movie talk about oh my god, I'm just like, what would your 8-year-old self say that? Right. Because my adult self, if this 33-year-old, we apologize for the baby in the background. I'm saying she probably watches Space Jam also. So my 33-year-old self would, looking at Space Jam now, I see all the problems with it. Right. Because I'm 33 years old.
And it's a flawed
movie. And if I'm going back and looking at my 8-year-old self, and I'm just like, what? Really? And I'm sitting there enjoying it. That's how this movie is to me. Right. Because I know a lot of people like, this is cheesy, this is corny, this is blah blah blah. It is.
It's supposed. What are y'all expecting? An Oscar-winning movie? That's what I'm like. Like LeBron James can't act. Well, yeah, it's a family film. He acted as a family film parent And I was like, okay, that's believable for this movie.
Uh-huh.
I feel like, personally, to get a little bit off topic, I feel like the excuse turn your brain off while watching a movie is a poor excuse. We're giving the movie credit that it was not smart enough to be an intelligent movie for us.
Yeah.
So we have to dumb ourselves down to make that movie enjoyable. I think that's a poor excuse for any type of movie.
Correct. If film is subjective.
Yeah.
It really is, and there are going to be people out there that's not going to agree because like I said, I do have bad that's wrong with this movie. Mm-hmm. We're not at that part yet, but there are still things. I'm to the point. I'm just like, it's okay to enjoy something. Like I feel like we live in a society now where we're not allowed to enjoy anything.
Right.
And I'm like,
hating thing is the popular thing.
That's the thing. Because if people see all the thumbnails, they're like, oh God, they really hate this movie. You're only man who's gonna go in that movie with a preconceived notion to the point like, I gotta hate this movie.
Right.
But I went in there after rewatching the first Space Jam, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, let me go in here with a clear head and just watch Space Jam for what it is, type thing. And then I was like, there's certain things I'm like. And then it is a Warner Brothers HBO Max propaganda. Right. Shit, they flaunt because Disney has not done this.
Yeah, I'm like Ready Player One.
I'm just saying, like
we have plenty. Who Framed Roger Rabbit done it? If you got money, let it show.
I'm about to say Disney do this joint like every week. I'm just to the point now they haven't had a movie yet, but I mean the properties that Disney has, it's always going to be look. Those are two biggest companies. It's always going to be the rabbit versus the mouse. And everything, and they literally split down the middle, got everything. Okay, they almost.
Yep.
Split down the middle, they pretty much got everything. And then there are some things with Disney be flossing. Yep. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, Warner Brothers flossed for a certain amount of time.
And honestly, let them. I mean, Warner Brothers been getting nothing but crap.
Yeah,
especially because of all these DC films. Yeah, they've been getting crap because directors are mad at them for bringing their movies over to HBO Max. The whole Christopher Nolan incident. Let them have fun. This is clearly a movie where they're having fun, and I enjoyed that they're having fun.
Now I'm going to bring up some of the things that I did not like. Okay. And a lot of these things are going to become because I'm a basketball fan. Okay. I did not like how the way the other basketball players were handled. Okay. And I'll explain what I mean, because it was like, hey, my dad said, let me be some of his friends. And it was like, okay, we put these ball players right behind an obvious green screen. And and I was just like, oh, it's Clay, it's Damian Lillard, it's Diane Taurasi, Chinny, I can never pronounce her last name, which is the Spider one. She has like a very, I don't know if it's an African last name or not, but I can never get it right, so I just never say it. And Anthony Davis, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I like the lineup that they're using for the monsters, but the difference that I didn't like is that in the first movie, the other players had like a story. Right. They got their talent took, and it was not their fault. The aliens took their talent so they can use their talent to play basketball. Right. And throughout the whole time, they didn't know what happened to them. They was trying. It was funny trying to see these big NBA players to figure out what happened to them. Right. Because the talent is they go into therapy. They go into counseling sessions. Right. They're going to get MRI, EKG, X-ray, laser beam. They're getting all this kind of stuff. And it was funny seeing them go through that whole type of journey to the point where at the end, they was just, even the Charles Barkley thing, like, hey, man, can I play? And the girls bust his ass to the court. I said, be gone, wannabe. Be gone. Like, that's classic to me. And at the end, we just, even Charles Barkley being in church talking about himself, I'll never go out with Madonna again. Because they really don't know what happened to them. And so Mike comes back and it gives them their talent. So this one, I'm like, y'all are willingly playing against LeBron James?
Now, it wasn't them. It was like because he scanned a version of them for a model for his games.
But see, it would have felt more to me, such as one, like I said, they as their real selves got about, I want to say, 14 seconds of screen time to the point where it's just like, okay, so we got these WNBA players in here with these NBA players. Are they just doing a regular scrimmage? But if they are, why they got these whole uniforms on? It'd be different. It's like, okay, hey, Anthony Davis and LeBron are really cool. He be coming over his house for Taco Tuesday and all that stuff that they play on the Lakers together. Right. Establish that. Why can't AD be in the house like Uncle AD over here? You know what I'm saying? Or Dame Dollar's in the studio because he's a legit rapper. Or, you know, he has a daughter and she looks up to the WNBA players like Diana Taurasi. It can show different kind of character development in these other people. It will also make a dynamic that, hey, let's put an ultimatum with the Goon Squad, opposed to them just being mindless AIs. You could make it seem like, hey, either you go and face your you beat your best friend LeBron, or you stay as these characters for eternity. To the point where you got to give them an ultimatum. To the point where it's just like, LeBron, we don't want to do this.
Right.
But we got to do it, type thing. To the point where at the end it's just like, all right, well, obviously everything will work out in the end. But I felt as I was like, I want them to have more.
I can understand that. Now, coming from my point of view, I feel like that would take away from Dom's story, because he created that game. He created those characters for this specific game. I feel like bringing those characters in to have their own storyline will only kind of overshadow Dom's story.
It would, and I don't want to get a whole storyline. I just want to have more screen time.
Gotcha.
I want this because, once again, you're not playing basketball, you know who these people are. And
I only know them from seeing commercials.
For commercials, you knew Anthony Davis because of Unibrow.
Yeah.
But you don't watch WNBA, do you?
No.
And like I said, you know Klay Thompson was, and on top of that,
yeah, I only knew Klay, Dame Dollars, and Anthony Davis.
So, on top of all that, when they go into their forums, you was like, "Oh, that's who Klay Thompson's supposed to be." That's what, it's like, because I'm like, you could better, better explain to the point where it's just like, okay, we got ultimate. You can just give him some more lines, some more something to go along with that, other than just like, mine's basketball players. There was a whole propaganda thing at the end, and I was like, somebody made the opinion like this looked like a 1-2 hour SNL sketch, and at the end when they had all the Warner Brothers characters surrounding the dang house, it's like some could be an eyesore because these are obviously not the actors that play the characters, but they're supposed to be the characters. Mr. Freeze was getting on my nerves, the one with the robe, and I was just like, oh, that's not Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. Freeze. It's to me, that's a nitpick. I don't necessarily. It didn't hurt the movie for me,
right?
Like that. But I was just saying, like, wow, this is and then
I could get what you're saying. Personally, I didn't pay attention to them.
Yeah,
I just saw like, oh, that's Pennywise, cool. And I was just like right back into the movie.
And then the game, like I said, I like it's Dom's game, but then there gotta be some level of basketball
that's
on there because like.
Also, I agree with that. That's why I feel like they should have made a game to explain those rules of his game. That way we could carry it on to this movie, at least. And if not, explain the rules in this game right here. Because, look,
I understand 12-year-olds, there are no rules. They're on the floor.
They do cool stuff.
And they're doing cool stuff with their toys. But I'm like, 1,000 points?
Man, that's a lot.
And then it's 1,037, and I come back 1,000 points?
Right.
And I'm sitting there like, okay, so why is it that, okay, Diana Taurasi makes a simple dunk, and she get all these styles points and bonus points, and then it's just like, okay, well, LeBron make a nice turnaround jump shot, and it says buckets, and it's still like a point. And then so then third quarter, like it did in the other movie, we just go straight Looney Tunes shit, and then we rack up the points. Then at the end, when the game's on the line, we going back to 2 points. Yeah. And I'm like, where's the balance on this?
I felt like it should have been balanced. Now, the only reason why I feel like at the end it was balanced is because the game broke. That's the only logical thing I could say.
Yeah.
To it. But yeah, no, we need a scale so we can at least follow the game.
Like I can say, if they was going by, like anybody who out there plays with EA Sports Big, even Swag does, NBA Street, where it's you could do 1 or 2 pointers, or you can do 2 or 3 pointers. You have a game breaker that could be 4 points, or 5 points, or 8 points, and then it'll minus the person back 4 points. You can do all these kind of tricks that help build up your game breaker bar.
Right.
That's fine with me.
Right.
Because it's basketball, but it ain't basketball at the same time. I'm like, this ain't shit. This is really.
It would have been cool if they were playing regular basketball at a certain like gauge. you'll go loony, and then you'll start doing all like the crazy stuff, and that'll get you more points. I would have accepted that.
Yeah.
As a at least there's some way to power scale it. Because it's almost like watching anime. It's like how do I know you're stronger? how do I know?
Side note: RDC wrote this skill that I react to. I gotta put up.
I probably did.
When anime people don't explain their powers.
Oh my god!
Yo,
I got
that video had me dying.
It's probably because of everything you said. Because of everything.
When they don't explain their powers, I was just like, "Yo, this show is crazy." But anyway, side note: check out RDC World. Yeah, that right there kind of bothered me. There, like I said, there were certain scenes where LeBron was like, "This is cringe," because he said he's not a good actor at all. But like I said, he is better than Michael Jordan. Right. I wanted the whole Looney Tunes thing. Like if you're going to make a 2-hour movie, right? Which I don't know if it needed to be 2 hours, but if you're gonna make a 2-hour movie, some of the things that were fleshed out, like I felt as though the game came too quick.
It did.
I could have waited a little bit longer,
right?
Because I wanted them to flush out them getting the Looney Tunes back.
Yeah.
You may have not had to go to every single Looney Tune, obviously, but when it came to like, okay, Daffy Duck is in Metropolis,
right,
with Porky Pig, and then it's like, okay, obviously I wanted to see more with Lola Bunny and Themyscira.
I thought that's where they spent the most time.
Yeah,
because it was like, I mean, of course, Zendaya is a big actress, so
exactly.
You want that power, but it was like y'all literally focused a lot on her and just gave all the other tunes sideline.
Exactly, because
she know how to play basketball.
I did like Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner and Mad Max.
Yeah,
I liked that. Granny and the Matrix was okay.
I thought that was dumb.
Yeah, I was like, but y'all just put it in here just to show, like, hey, we own the Matrix too, and then y'all put Fargo Lakewood in Game of Thrones because hey, we had Game of Thrones, and then I was like, okay, if we can bounce it out a little bit, we can take some away to actually give, because it's like, hey, Algae Rhythm broke the Looney Tunes up. It's been years, and it's just all of a sudden, hey, let's just come back. I want there to be some, like, Lola Bunny showed me everything I wanted in her scene.
Right.
To the point where she's like, look, I'm done playing basketball. We did it with Jordan. It's done. It's like, okay, we got to keep that Toon World. I'm trying to be an Amazon.
Right.
First of all, I would have loved that they actually had, like, the real Amazon stuff like that for Wonder Woman. But
there was one on the sideline.
Oh, yeah, there was one sideline. Yeah.
One with the shield.
But I was like, yeah. That right there, to the point where it's like, okay, every time Bugs is talking, even though that was her love interest or her boo thing, I ain't listening to you right now. I'm done with it.
Right.
I wanted to feel what she was going through with the other Looney Tunes. That's why I'm saying you can cut some of them out, and like I would have kept the Wile E. Coyote and the Mad Max one small because they don't talk.
Right.
But something like, maybe Daffy Duck or things like that, or like the main ones, or Sylvester, when they have to go and figure them out. And I'm just like, I thought, it would have been cool to have that flushed out, but it was more like a montage of like, this is on HBO Max, so let me show you guys what I got. You like Austin Powers? We got it. You like that? I was like, because first of all, no kid know what Austin Powers is right there, or The Matrix.
Now, the only thing I would say to Lola Bunny's defense is that out of all the Looney Tunes, she's the most serious out of all of them. Whereas Daffy, of course, he just wants attention. So he's going to do that Superman thing. That makes sense for his character.
Yeah.
I feel like going deep with each character will kind of take them out of their character in a way.
Okay, fair enough. I will say that, even though some I didn't need. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no, I agree that we didn't need the Game of Thrones one because he got out the game quick.
Exactly.
I was like, well, that was a waste of time.
I was like, if y'all want to flex your properties, fine, but like make it entertaining.
I would have preferred they flex their properties with the opposite team. Have them like, okay, we got a team. Don't worry, we could go to Warner Brothers properties too. We got Neo from The Matrix on our team. We got characters from Game of Thrones on our team. We got Hager from Game. That's what I thought the movie was going to be originally. When I saw the screenshots. Yeah, that LeBron James is playing these other more popular WWE stars.
So It could have probably been like that, but then of course, it probably would have got even more backlash because it's probably hella expensive to get those characters. Because
if you're going
to have them characters, you want to see them characters.
That's and also why I think
that goes into money. Like, say if you want Superman, right? Right now, everybody wants Henry Cavill.
Right.
Henry Cavill costs money now.
Yep.
And then if he has a DC contract that says I'm supposed to be in 3 DC movies, Space Jam is not a DC movie.
Yeah.
But he got to put extra money. It's money. So I could probably feel like we probably will do cheaper if we go the Looney Tunes route.
That's probably why they switched the teams. That's why we probably didn't see Hager playing basketball with LeBron.
Exactly.
That's probably why.
So, but like I said, the whole Lola Bunny thing I thought was cool.
Yeah.
And I like LeBron saying like, "Yo, this is really a trash team."
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm sitting there like Michael Jordan, like I'm gonna win with the Looney Tunes. Like, are you serious?
Greatest thing about this movie is how self-aware it is.
It is very self-aware.
It is very self-aware. LeBron James saying, "Athletes can't act." I mean, Kevin Garnett, he can act. After we seen
Uncut Gems,
yeah, he can act. I was like, okay, this.
There are a lot of athletes that have gone to become actors. Like, people keep forgetting The Rock is an athlete.
I take that in a different route because in wrestling you are acting.
Okay, so so that's not sports entertainment. Okay, I get what you're saying.
I don't want to. I'm not discrediting them as athletes because they are athletes. The training they go through, the wooden beam, the stuff they have to do, the spotting, all that. That's all athlete. That's all part of being an athlete. However, LeBron James don't have to act on the court.
No, he don't.
Whereas Batista has to act in the ring. He has to sell himself. Where you can just sell yourself for your skills on the court. I like that when LeBron said that. I like the whole Anthony Davis thing. I was like, thank God I'm not the only one that sees this.
Yeah,
because I'm like, I like the fact that that WB knows, it has all these parts. It's a very self-aware movie. And I enjoyed that.
And now I'm gonna go into some of the things that when it comes to comparing the first one and the second one. After watching the first one again, I told myself, I said, see, this is the same thing Coming to America fell into. We're never going to be laxed because of what the nostalgic original is.
Yeah.
It's it doesn't matter what the Space Jam: A New Legacy did. No matter what they did, we and I will put myself in there, will find a problem with it because it's not Space Jam. And they probably waited too long. And to be honest with you, you probably wouldn't have got the same movie if they did it in 1998. You know what I'm saying? 2 years after. Or you probably wouldn't have got the same Coming to America what they did if it was in 1991.
Right.
Okay? And sometimes fate just happens that way. And Space Jam, it could have been probably like, it was dead. But I was like, but for what they had, I was like, if I'm in the room, I'm just like, you know what? How do we make this shit interesting? Because it's Looney Tunes.
Right.
Nobody watches Looney Tunes anymore. Not even the kids watch Looney Tunes anymore.
Right.
And I'm like, well, if we got all this Warner Brothers property that has grown over the years, fuck it. Use it. Like I said, might as well just use it. We got LeBron James in here. Let's just find a different kind of way to use it. I will say, though, that I'm not a fan of this new soundtrack that they have.
Okay, that's fair.
And
I think that's also a generation thing because only heard 2 songs from it, and I was like, okay, that's pretty. It's what I expect.
Here's the thing about it, because what made the Space Jam soundtrack so iconic is that there are certain songs with certain scenes that are iconic.
Right.
And with that being said, I'm just like, when Charles Barkley is walking down the street, right? I hear Basketball Joes. Right. The song is about the person, how much they love about basketball, and just hearing Barry White's commentary over the basketball player trying to figure out what's wrong with him, it fits. So that is so iconic to that point.
I would say that's definitely a generation thing because with today's song, we're just going for vibes.
Yeah.
With today's songs are all like, does this fit the vibe of what's going on? You don't have to tell a story and make it relate. to a scene.
But even
like you did back in the day.
But it's like because look, everybody remembers "Fly Like an Eagle," right?
Yeah.
When Jordan comes ready, as soon as you shoot, everybody remembers do, and then the "Fly Like an Eagle" stuff comes on. Or even, I know he in jail, but I Believe I Can Fly was the shit. Going in the Space Jam, and every time you heard that song, it was like that triumphant thing. It was in the beginning when he was a kid, and then when he came back to play that baseball game, and he came back, and that song came on, it was just like Michael Jordan's back. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get that kind of song when LeBron won the game,
right?
And you know he realized the meaning of family and being a dad. I want that triumphant thing to be like, that's the staple right there.
Right.
I felt like I didn't get that. You know what I'm saying? That's disappointing. I know it's a generational thing. Yeah. Me being my old man, get off my lawn. But I'm just saying. I wouldn't
even say it's to get off my. Again, music today is just vibes.
Yeah.
It's not.
Because
I don't want to say it's not meaningful, but from your perspective, it's not as powerful.
Everything just sounds the same to me.
That's fair.
Everything. I don't mind if somebody sounds like that, but why does every song have to sound like that? Right. And then the point when, like, don't get me wrong, the Kurt Franklin Little Baby song is different, so I like it because it's different. But then I'm just like, it's alright. Right. It's like, you know, I know that they use that's the front runner for the song. Right. But it's just like, it's different, so I kind of like it. Like I said, LeBron was having more fun with it than Michael Jordan did back in '96.
I would say this script made way more sense.
It did. I'm saying it really made more sense.
Everything pieced together, and I was like, okay. Like, I didn't feel like I was being forced to, like, why am I... Like, remember when we watched... we tried to watch The Tomorrow War? Where we were asking all these questions as we were going through the film?
Bruh,
I didn't find myself asking these questions going through the film because they were answering like that.
Yeah.
Or I could just easily connect the pieces together.
And like I said, when I was playing basketball, now, or when I was playing golf, when I was playing any kind of sports in high school and college, if the coach had a feeling about you, or they knew that a scout was coming, or they knew that you could be one of the best ones that can go into the NBA, they would do stuff like that to those top players. Yeah. They would, if they find distractions. I've seen coaches take phones. I have seen coaches, like me, I could have played my game boy because I'm always going to be a bench warmer, okay? Yeah. That's how it is. Not LeBron James. So, I get that metaphor. And do you know what? That probably really did happen to him because... Right. If you look at LeBron James on his social media, and if you look at him on The Shop, which I recommend everybody go check out, the Shop Unfiltered on HBO Max. It's this TV show that he has.
I seen the one with Drake. That's
the
one I seen.
LeBron is undercover nerd. Okay, like I said, LeBron is a big ass kid.
He wants to hide it, but
he's a big ass. Like I remember when he got drafted to Cleveland, he was just getting hot. And he was in the front row of Raw with that flip flop
and had a picture of
it was a Stone Cold.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, yo, this man is. And look, I actually saved this picture. Like I said, he's a wrestling fan. You know what I'm saying?
I remember that.
And everybody was like, yo, why LeBron there? And I'm just like, because the man's a big ass kid. So there's a screenshot because it was I want to say 3/16 day, and so so he comes in to the game with this shirt on,
LeBron 16,
yeah, with the Stone Cold smoke with the Lakers, because that's who the guy is. He's like a big ass kid who loves his nerds. So even he was just being himself, right? And I like that, right? Because I'm a nerd too, and I can see it being like, yo, my first Game Boy. You don't understand, right? This joint's hot. And then once again, the way we were coached back then, and the way, because like I said, LeBron only 3 years older than me, so the way we were coached back then, to where how kids are coached now, I felt a little bit more of it because I'm like, that's how I am with my son. Right. I want my kids. It's natural that you want your kids to do what you want to do, right? And I want my kids to be better. Like I would love for my daughter to be the first woman to go into the WNBA and do a tomahawk dunk. I would love for that to be my daughter.
Right.
I would love for my son to get into basketball and be better than me. It don't bother me. Like I know parents that don't want their kid to be better. I'm like, yes, be better than me.
Right.
And when I was watching it the first time, I was just like, damn, it's me and my son, because he's into technology. He knows how to get on all kind of social media apps when something new comes out, TikTok and Discord and all that stuff like that. I don't even know how to do all that stuff. I'm being real with you. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here trying to ask myself, I'm like, I need to go start asking him. And next thing you know, he'd be having all these followers. I'm like, I'm not doing something right. And then when it comes to, he picked up, now I have a brother-in-law, he has an uncle that does PCing, but he's picking up this stuff on his own. He knows what kind of keyboard to go out there and get, and what kind he will go and bring his laptop stuff and game on the PC and have a remote play hooked to his PlayStation somehow. I'm like, how'd you do that? 'Cause I don't know how to do that. I mean, honest with you, me personally, I'm like, yo, let's go play some ball.
Right.
And then when he sucks at it, or when I see like other kids cross, I'll be trying to teach him, just like yo, you take this stuff seriously.
Right.
When here, because that's how I was taught.
Right.
And then you realize like we're dealing with a whole nother generation of kids here.
That's why I think I like this story so much.
Yeah.
Because I had the same thing with my parents. It's like my parents tried to push me in the direction where they wanted me to go.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to. That wasn't me. I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
But even though they were like, come on, I'm like, no, this is my passion.
This is the
it's like,
exactly.
I like what y'all are doing, like, because I grew up in it, but this is what I'm interested in. So I thought that story really resonated with me. I really enjoyed the story.
Because they tried to do that in the original Space Jam, but I was like, okay.
If they did, I missed it completely.
You missed it? Because remember, Michael's son played baseball just like he did. And then when he got off, he was just like, he had this bad game, and then so
okay, that's right, I remember that.
And he come on the couch, and then he's sitting there talking to him, and then it's like they show ESPN of Jordan having a bad game, and he just says, you know, what I'm saying, turn this stuff off. We watch Looney Tunes and get him a hand on the knee and leaves. I'm like, with a pep talk, you know what I'm saying? I had a bad game. You know, what's going on?
Horrible.
and I'm like, where's the family aspect of it?
That was a horrible display.
Exactly, to the point where it's like, well, there's just you got the hint that maybe he wasn't cut out for baseball. Mm-hmm. They never addressed that family aspect of it. So I like the fact that, hey, this kid is 12 years old. He made his own game. Bonnie James, which is LeBron's oldest real son right now, who looks just like LeBron James,
right?
He is the one that's primed for the basketball.
Okay.
And because have you seen him play before?
I have not.
He's good. And same thing with D-Wade's oldest son. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are you're going to have one that's going to be primed for it, and then maybe the other one, like D-Wade's youngest son, who's now his daughter, or even LeBron's youngest son, it's just not cut out for it. And it's hard when you're the top person.
Right.
It's easier when you was trash.
You expect your child.
Like
people ask, like, oh, you're going to be the next one.
Kwame Brown's son. I can't even let you play basketball or not, because your dad is trash. Okay, but if you want to play basketball, like, oh, your dad was like Manute Bo, who was a very tall African guy, played basketball. He kind of sucked, but his son Bobo looks just like him, but he can play.
Okay.
That's what I was like. So you be better than that. But like, if you look at Magic Johnson's son, have you seen Magic Johnson's son?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like your dad is Magic Johnson. It's like, why are you not playing ball?
Right.
Kind of thing like that. So I liked it, and when I watched it the second time, I was like, damn, kind of like it is better on the second time.
Yeah.
You know, and I just don't think that you can go watch some reviews for yourself, but I really don't think people are being fair with it, because we're watching Space Jam with a kind of nostalgic style glasses on.
Right.
You know, say, will it be in my top 10 of 2021? Probably not. But it's not in my worst.
Right.
Because this was not the worst movie I have seen all year. Trust me. Okay.
So far, I really like. I'm gonna probably watch this again.
Yeah, you have it. Oh, yeah, so you got my account.
I'm probably gonna watch this again. Yeah. I really enjoyed this movie much better than I thought.
Yeah, there was times I laughed. There were some jokes I missed the first time, and I laughed at the second time.
Right.
Like I said, Don Cheadle looked like he was just like, oh, thank God I got a day off, because I can go here and
my
have
legs
fun.
work in this movie.
I ain't gotta go be serious, roadie.
Yeah.
I can go in here because he has range. I can go in here and I can actually have a day off.
Now, to Lady Sketch's defense, it was like a roller coaster with him. It was like, come on, you're being way too goofy. But then when it got really, I was like, okay, he's spot on with it.
I wouldn't say in the beginning he was being cliche. He was
okay. That's the better
He was
word.
being a very cliche villain.
Right.
That's what it was. Talking about, so I hold the power in my hands. So you should did that.
Kings.
Exactly. That's very cliche villain. Right. But then after a while, when he zapped them into the serververse,
right,
and things like that, and they was like, okay, just let me be Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
Let me have fun with this, and then everything to me was cool.
Right.
Yeah.
It looked like everyone enjoyed their time in this movie.
That's all you can ask for.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask for.
Everyone enjoyed their time.
So I know people are gonna be ranting and raving talking about some of y'all dumb for liking the movie.
And I don't care.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, bring on the heat, because even while watching the Double Toasted review, it was like, please don't hate us, because I was watching the review and it was like, it make more sense to Space Jam.
But it does. It
does. It makes more sense to Space Jam.
Now, look, they can hate us all they want. I'm still on the high from the Cyberpunk thing, where everyone was trashing us.
Ooh. And
when that game came out, what happened?
It was like, all right. And I think right now it's really fun to hate. Mm-hmm. And the things I've heard about,
it's easier
to hate. The things I've heard about, talk about stuff. Oh, well, they just oversaturated Warner Bros. Properties. It's one big commercial.
Let them.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that stuff doesn't bother me. LeBron's not a good actor. I'm like, neither was Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Or,
like, well, he's not an actor.
It's not. I'm focusing on the stuff like that. So, it was cool. So, I gave it, do I want to come up? Because I want to actually get this movie a B.
Okay. Oh, you gave it a hashtag?
I gave it a hashtag,
okay.
Give it a chance at first.
Okay.
But I'm really, because I was teetering on that, or do I want to give it, give it a B? Because, to be honest with you, it's something that I necessarily enjoy,
I would say, if you have fun watching this movie and you can see yourself watching it more, I will rank it higher than the hashtag.
Yeah, because like I said, because I also, like I said, people also may not be into basketball either, so
right.
That can also hurt a part of the film. But it's like this: my kids will sit down, right. Especially my son, will have a good time. As soon as he comes back home, he's gonna want to watch this.
And I remember when Lee Sketch said the same thing. She said she didn't care for Spider-Verse, but after watching your son watch the movie,
yeah,
his impact on it, that hired the review for it.
Exactly.
And the same thing did with Sonic. We
yes.
saw that the second time. So maybe watching it with him will probably change that review.
Yeah, well, I still like Sonic the first time also.
Oh.
I just fell asleep.
Okay.
Because I was tired.
I thought you didn't like it the first time.
Because once again, I'm looking at it, because you got to be honest with yourself.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at it with a biasness of Sonic.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so it's like, when they make a Sonic Hedgehog movie, I'm just like, I'm looking for everything from Green Hill Zone. Okay? I'm looking for everything from Sega. And people got to be honest with themselves about that. And when they don't see that, they automatically going to be like, this is not my Sonic.
Right.
But in reality, it's like, okay, they had to change something so it could fit in today's society.
Right.
And I'm like, you looking back on, like, when you can finally take your defenses down and watch it again, it's just like, what am I really mad about?
Right. Now, you know me, the biggest Sonic hater
exactly.
there is. I was ready to trash it, and then I came out and I was like, it was good.
It's kind of like Mortal Kombat. It's just the opposite for me. Mm-hmm. I love it so much that when I go in there, I hold anything I watch Mortal Kombat to a high standard.
Right.
Because I love it so much.
Right.
But since, you know what I'm saying, I go in there, I'm just like, okay, they changed this around too much for me because I love it too much, then it hurt it for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It disappointed me in this. In this one, Space Jam, I was like, okay, I see some of the anger, but not the anger it's been getting.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the whole Batman v Superman anger. I'm just like, I don't get
that
this.
That was unexplainable.
I'm just like,
I get
baffled. I get the anger, but I'm like, but the
not
anger
nearly as bad as y'all making it out.
And I'm about to say the Ultimate Edition was way better, But once again, people ain't trying to hear that. But when that Snyderverse,
everyone,
when that Snyder Cut came out, can't do no wrong. You know, sure. But yeah, so that is a spoiler review for Space Jam. I recommend if you guys like sports movies, if you like the first Space, just watch it.
Right.
It won't insult you, and feel how you want to feel.
Right.
If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Film is subjective. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to hear. I can't be a deep movie critic and be like, well, you know, so this can't hear. He can't carry the plot here. Said they do the 3-act structure. I'm just, it's Space Jam. Okay, it's fucking Space Jam done by Warner Brothers. Okay, it's just like, sure, you know what I'm saying. First of all, they can bring up Looney Tunes back that nobody gave a fuck about in the first place. So,
right.
There you go.